We all know the classic saying, it takes being a friend to make a friend. But what about when it comes to yourself? The only person you are guaranteed to spend your entire life with from beginning to end is you. So wouldn't that make your relationship with yourself the most important relationship you're ever going to have? The really sad thing is though, most of us don't even consider our relationship to ourselves a relationship at all. In fact, most of us neglect it completely. Then we wonder why people treat us so horribly. But those people are only mirroring back to us the parts of ourselves that we've neglected within. Because the truth is, a healed and healthy person wouldn't keep people around that treat them in undesirable ways. So if you find that you keep attracting people that don't treat you with the respect that you deserve or in the ways that you prefer, it might be a time to take a break from those people, those friendships, relationships, family members, and put all the focus back on yourself and your relationship to yourself. Hi, my name is Julia. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. This video is all about how to be your own best friend, your own BFF, because over the past year, I've taken a lot of time to myself to repair my relationship to myself. And I've found that along the way, I've realized I have become my own best friend, and I feel like it has solved a lot of problems for me and really raised my self-worth, helped me understand what I'm looking for in friendships and understand what kind of friend I want to be to other people. So if you've been struggling with your connections to other people and your relationships with other people, then becoming your own best friend is really going to be your best teacher for how you want to show up in your friendships and relationships. So let's start with why it is so important to become your own best friend first before forming new friendships or delving even deeper into the friendships you currently have, especially if they are veering towards the unhealthier end or the toxic end of the spectrum. So number one is you are your own biggest project. I saw that little quote on Pinterest and it really stuck with me because, like I said in the beginning, you are the only person you are guaranteed to spend your entire life with. And you are a work in progress and a masterpiece all at once. Oh, we just got another little quote in there. But it's true, because throughout your life, you're going to have challenges that you are going to need to overcome. You are constantly changing and evolving and growing into a better, more well-rounded person. And part of the reason for that is actually biological. Like if you genuinely think about it, as a species of humans, we are always evolving to be more up-leveled. It's just a part of the natural selection process. In the animal world, they call it survival of the fittest. And as humans, we are animals, just maybe more conscious than other animals with more technology and tools. But at the end of the day, our biology, our physical structures that we inhabit are animals, and we fall into the mammal category. So there still is that innate nature of evolution within our species, and there is that survival of the fittest mentality in our subconscious always existing in the collective sphere. So individually, a part of our purpose of being here is to up level and be the best version of ourselves that we could possibly be. So it makes sense as to why you're your own biggest project. Next, if you never experienced the understanding, patience, love, and care you desire, you won't know what it looks like to receive that from other people. So by practicing giving it to yourself first, in the ways that you imagine it would feel like or how you think it should go, will help you learn what it means to be loved, understood, and cared for by trying to give it to yourself first. And obviously, if you've never felt it before, or if you've never felt different parts of that, it's going to be a trial and error process with yourself. So you may not get it right the first few times, you may not get it right many times, but if you're constantly working towards it and putting in the intention to be kind and loving and caring and understanding towards yourself, eventually you're gonna get there, because the easiest person it is to empathize with is you. But at the same time, we can tend to be our most judgmental and harsh critics. So it is a balancing act and a process that will take time to figure out. And we'll get into ways to practice giving that to yourself later on in the video. But once you create that baseline of how you want to be treated from you to you, then that baseline stands for every other person that comes into your life. So nobody can treat you less than that baseline. They either need to treat you that baseline or better. And that's going to help you weed out the friends and people that are not right for you. I think sometimes the hard thing about becoming our own best friend is we think we know ourselves. But a lot of times we don't know ourselves as much as we we think we do, and we just make assumptions about ourselves without having an open-minded curiosity to our feelings and emotions and wants and needs. I feel like a lot of times we kind of bulldoze over those things based off of societal conditioning. A really big first step in becoming your own best friend is to actually be curious and really want to try to get to know yourself, because the more you learn about yourself and the more you know yourself, the more able and capable you are of giving yourself what you want and need, because you know what you want and need, and therefore it's a lot easier. You're way more clear-minded. So it all starts with really listening to your emotions, being curious about them, sitting with them, being present with them, and asking yourself, what do I want? What do I need? Listening to all parts of you, because there's going to be conflicting parts within that. Maybe one piece of you needs one thing and another piece of you needs another thing, and they kind of conflict together. So you're gonna have to find a way to make compromises within and allow opposing things to be true at once. In DBT, which is the therapy that I do, there's a skill called dialectics. That's when you allow something to be true and another thing that completely opposes it to also be true at the same time. So an example of that would be saying, I really love traveling, and traveling also stresses me out. Those sound like they are completely opposing, but they can be true at the same time. You can love to travel and also be completely stressed out by the process of traveling. So it's finding that balance within. So when it comes to listening to our emotions, it can actually be a lot harder than you think, because we've been conditioned by our society to ignore our emotions, to fit in and follow a path that others have paved out for us. So that could be like going to school, working a corporate job. There's nothing wrong with any of those things, but a lot of times to fit in school, to fit in at work, we are taught to neglect parts of ourselves in that process. And unfortunately, most school systems and corporate jobs aren't set up to benefit our emotional and mental health. In fact, most of them just teach us to kind of ignore these things and push along. So there's a lot of conditioning that we're going to have to undo from these systems. Also, family dynamics can play a big part in this as well. Depending on how your family values mental health and if they are conscious about emotional connecting and what is healthy, what isn't healthy, you're going to have a lot of conditioning there as well, depending on the dynamics of that in your family. So the way we start to understand our emotions is to slow down and be present with ourselves. Be present with the emotions that are flowing through us. Emotions are like waves. They come, they go, you gotta ride the waves out. So in understanding your emotions, you will then understand what you need and what you desire. You can then act from a place more aligned with your authentic self, moment to moment and day to day. Let me give you a good example of this. So the other week, me and my friend went out to dinner, and while we were at dinner, our other friend, she texted us spontaneously inviting us to a very crowded bar because she knew we were both out, and it was a nice gesture. She also said there was a guy there that she thought I would vibe with, so she wanted to make the connection, which was very kind, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that didn't align with what I wanted, because I'm not really a fan of going to crowded bars that are full of sweaty, drunken people. It's very rare that I will go and do that. So I was like, okay, like I'd be down to meet up. Maybe if we went to a more chill vibe, maybe like a brewery where we could just like sit down and talk, and then maybe I would be open to getting to know the guy that was with them. But they weren't really budging on that, and I didn't want to go against my own personal boundaries, so it ended up not happening, which was totally fine, because I do have friends that are respectful of my boundaries and aren't going to push on things that I say no to. But if I would have been like, oh, I really want to meet this guy, let me go to this bar anyway, that would have been completely counterintuitive, because I would be going against my values just to go meet this random guy, and whether we vibe or not vibe, it's going to be on the wrong terms, because I'm putting myself in a place that doesn't feel completely authentic to me. So even if we do vibe, it's not really fully authentic, because that's not my scene, that's not my vibe. So I would be bulldozing what I truly want and who I truly am for a connection that wouldn't be real, because it's not aligned with who I truly can't, if that makes sense. So I say all this to say, you really have to make sure all of your parts are in agreement before you make decisions to do anything, especially stuff that involves other people, because you might build connections that are false if you aren't fully honoring yourself. And by being your own best friend, you're fully honoring yourself, because a healthy best friendship is where two people honor, love, care for, and respect each other in the ways that they prefer and that they need and that they want. The best way to get comfortable with setting boundaries with other people is to set them with yourself first, to keep yourself disciplined at achieving the goals that you have, or just to keep yourself disciplined at staying aligned with your desired life. So let's use the example of going to sleep early so you can wake up early and work out. If I were to not be disciplined about making sure that I go to sleep early and wake up early, then it would make working out that much harder for me to do on a regular basis. So I know if I tell myself, hey, I need to go to sleep before 10:30 so that I can wake up between 6:30 and 7, get in my workout, and then get the rest of my day going off to a good start, I know I gotta do that, because if I don't do that, then I'm gonna wake up maybe at 8, maybe I'll still do my workout, maybe I won't, and then my whole day is thrown off. So I know if I stay disciplined with my sleep schedule and my workout schedule, I'm gonna feel a lot better. And yeah, in the moment, maybe I don't want to go to sleep early, maybe I want to stay up and watch Netflix, or maybe I want to sleep in and just not work out. But I know if I don't push myself to do those things that make me feel good and healthy, then I'm going to feel so much worse in the end. So a little discomfort in the moment of doing the things that I know will set me up to be the best version of myself is worth it, rather than the pain of not doing those things and feeling down about myself and falling off track and getting into a shame spiral about how I'm not doing the things I know I need to do to be the version I want to be. It's actually interesting to think about, but self-discipline is actually a form of self-love. Even though self-discipline can be really tough at times, it can be hard to have self-control and willpower and be like, no, I'm not gonna indulge in this, that, and whatever. But self-discipline really is one of the main bases of self-love, because sometimes you really do need that tough love to kind of be like, yo, if you're not doing the right things to live a healthy lifestyle, to be the version you want to be, do it. Just do it. It really does take just doing it sometimes, even though you don't want to. And something as simple as putting yourself to bed early, waking up early, and doing a workout can change your life. So self-discipline is key. There are so many simple practices you can do to be more supportive of yourself, raise your self-worth, and get to know yourself better. So I just wanted to go over a few that you can do so you really can be your own BFF. This one's a really important one, and it can be a little tough at times, but whenever you have to make a decision, ask yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do in this situation? And then whatever comes to mind, like whatever the answer is, you have to force yourself to do it, even if it's hard. You have to be that like supportive best friend being like, no, Julia, I know you think it's difficult to film a video when you're super tired, but film the video and then go take the nap. You'll feel so much better. Talk to yourself the way you would when you're trying to support your best friend. Do practicing gratitude of any and all small accomplishments. So you can do this by starting a gratitude journal or a daily list in your phone notes. The really nice part about that is once you have like a good list, whenever you're feeling down about yourself or you start being hard on yourself, you can go look at that list and read it and realize all these things that you are grateful for when it's just not coming to mind. But even so, just sitting with yourself daily and writing down at least 3 things that you are grateful for about yourself will really change the game. This one gets so slept on, but it's so important, and that is taking care of your body. Feeding yourself healthy, nourishing foods that fuel you, never restricting, but also never like overindulging. I mean, look, we do both occasionally and it happens, but I mean like on a 80% to 20% basis. Let's let ourselves mess up 20% of the time and let's be nourishing 80% of the time. Implementing daily exercise, whatever workouts are most comfortable and enjoyable to you, but daily movement, moving your body every day is so crucial. And it's very, very important to implement proper rest. sleeping is so important. If you don't get enough sleep, you won't be able to focus as well on the tasks that you are doing. You won't have energy. It's just, it's a mess. Currently right now I am running on low sleep, and not even that low. I think I only slept maybe an hour or two less, and I'm really feeling it today. So proper sleep is key. It really does affect everything, including your mood, your mental state. My mood was a little off today, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was feeling a little like, But seriously, proper sleep, game changer. Listening to uplifting music and or content, I do both of these things and they help so much. Honestly, there are a few YouTubers, a few spiritual teachers that I just know if I put their content on when I'm not feeling my greatest, I'm gonna feel a lot better. There's some songs, I literally have a playlist in my phone that I know if I play this playlist, I am gonna be dancing, I'm gonna be vibing, I'm gonna be like, yes. So you gotta have those go-tos for yourself, because there will be times when you're not feeling your best or motivated, or like you really want to be your best friend and you're gonna start getting down on yourself. So when you get in those moments, be the best friend to you. Put on the music, put on the content like you would if you were hanging out with your best friend and they were having an off day and you were trying to cheer them up, cheer yourself up. This one is another one I love, spending time alone and taking yourself on little dates. Take yourself the places that you really enjoy going to. I love to take myself on little vegan cafe dates because I love trying new lattes. I love trying new sandwiches, new pastries. It's just something I really enjoy doing. So take yourself on whatever kind of dates you enjoy doing, wherever your interests lie. I take myself on beach dates. I literally will go to the beach by myself if no one's around and no one wants to go with me, or if I just like literally want to spend time by myself and it's warm out and I just want to go to the beach. I do that and it's fun and I enjoy it. And it gives me time to be with myself, be with my thoughts, be with my emotions, play the music I want to play, listen to the content I want to listen to, and I don't have to like compromise with anyone or this and that. I get to really just be with me, and you'd be surprised how enjoyable it really is to just be with yourself. Spending time in nature, whether it's meditating or walking, can't go wrong doing that ever. This is a new one that I've recently started doing, and it might sound kind of weird, but it really helps with like self-confidence and like feeling good about your appearance, and it is dancing in the mirror without judgment. Like literally like pretend you're your own little famous singer or famous dancer or famous whatever. Like I pretend like I'm a female Michael Jackson or something. Okay, maybe not that, but I just pretend I'm like some really special, cool like celebrity just vibing out. And it's really fun. And I also say affirmations to myself in the mirror. That's actually the next one. But listening to the playlist I was talking about before, that's positive, and dancing in the mirror to the music will boost your self-esteem a lot. And then looking in the mirror and telling yourself affirmations about how you're a beautiful person, whatever affirmations resonate with you, whatever you want to appreciate about yourself, telling yourself those affirmations in the mirror is next level, because it's literally like two best friends looking at each other, you and your reflection. And the last one is probably the most important one, but doing stuff that you feel passionate about, stuff that lights you up, stuff that makes you feel joy, and stuff that you enjoy, like actually the process of doing, not just the result of it. So things you're doing not as a means to an end, but for the journey of it, for the process of it, and that might just change your life forever, and maybe, just maybe, it might help you find your purpose if you don't already know. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. I love you guys so much. Go out in the world and be your best friend, and I will see you next time. Bye!